Doesn't matter if it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, any day of the week. There's always a lot of things on Cruise Control. That is a lot of breaking news. Come on. All right, everybody, the very first thing I want to talk about is The Witcher, The Witcher, The Witcher. Now, The Witcher, we talked about just the other day that The Witcher has been canceled. They are going to do, they're shooting season 4 right now. Season 5 is coming, and then it'll be done. Well, there were a couple spin-offs, too, that were supposed to happen. There was one about the Rats prequel. That was going on. They've been talking about that for a long, long time. That's done. They're also talking about doing a kid-friendly spinoff as well, but that's also done. They have canned both those projects. I think the Witcher world, the Witcher universe is going away, unfortunately. So if you're a fan of this, don't expect spinoffs right now. I think Netflix is doing this. I think you lose Superman, and then, they're trying to make it happen, trying to make it work. But I think at the end of the day, and they're still finishing up to get 2 more seasons, but I think that they're letting this finally end and go away. And I bet, a lot of casting directors are probably pretty pissed about that. They're already casting these spinoffs, but casting directors also and their assistants are trying to unionize. That's right. The casting, this is a big thing that's been going forward, actually, but freelance casting assistants have not been, under any kind of guild, but now they want to join Teamsters. We're talking about locals 399 and 817. So right now they're actually talking back and forth with those locals, trying to figure it out to get themselves associated with them so they can be unionized and taken care of, because again, they're just in this gray area. Now, their assistants, this happens a lot of times, long hours, not getting paid right. That's why people want to be in a union, and hopefully it gets taken care of for them. We always support the unions here on Cruise Control, so good to them, and I hope it works out because, it's great. It's great to get paid for actually making a living. And, you want to work a job and get paid appropriately, don't you? I'd say you want to do that. But, I don't know if it's going to happen. A lot of legalese, but also a lot of legalese going down at Paramount, everybody, because Paramount, it's still for sale. But Skydance is moving forward quite a bit. Now, David Ellison Studio and its backers, along with Skydance, have been going back and forth. They had this 30-day window. That ends very soon. It ends in May. And at that point, they're able to negotiate their people. But as of right now, they are moving forward quite a bit. Now, what's this mean? It means a $2 billion payday if this goes through for Redstone, who has a majority of stakes over there, or stocks over there at Paramount. But it also means $4 to $5 billion in valued stock going back into the company, too. So that's the idea. Now, they would conglomerate into one thing. It would be, of course, Paramount, and it would be Skydance as one company. But if that falls through, Sony's still on the back burner right there. Sony's waiting in the corner there, going, "Come on, guys, they got $25 billion they're putting on the table, $25 billion plus." So if this falls through, they're just waiting to jump on there and maybe take over Paramount and do whatever they want with it. Everyone's always striking, Queen. You're right. Everyone's always striking. But hopefully it works out. But I don't think anybody's going to figure it out. But maybe Sherlock Holmes could figure this out, because Sherlock Holmes might be coming back for another movie. Now, this was a big show from the BBC. It was on Netflix for a long time. Now it's over on Hulu. But Benedict Cumberbatch, it was freaking great as Sherlock Holmes. I loved him so much. I don't know if you've seen these. They're like mini movies almost. Usually about 4 episodes per season, but they're like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And they've done like 4 seasons of this. And they originally started back in 2010. Of course, there's big gaps in between because, of course, big actors play in these parts. But now the creator's coming forward saying he wants to do more. Mark Gatiss come forward, and he said he's got ideas to try to get the cast back together. So you might be seeing more Sherlock Holmes, Benedict Cumberbatch. If you're a fan of this, he's not just Doctor Strange. He's also the guy right there that can solve any crime. So maybe you can solve this, Maybe you can also solve the crime of what happened on the set of Eddie Murphy's new movie. Because, guys, this has been a big thing going forward, that Eddie Murphy's his production guys had this big accident. We talked about the other day. Big accident went down. Video footage came out just today or yesterday where they actually showed the collision. And so everyone's been talking about this online. IATSE's involved with this, which is a big thing. They're trying to get to the bottom, like, why did this happen? How did this go down? Everyone's worried about this. I did have some footage for this. I don't know what happened to it. I thought I had it right here, but maybe I don't have it. I'm going to pull the footage up in a little bit, but I actually have the footage of what went down, and it's pretty insane if you ask me that this kind of happened. And then Eddie Murphy wasn't there. It was a second unit thing, so it wasn't like he was any kind of involved with it, but there was a big collision. The car rolled, landed on top. There's a person sticking out of the actual car. And on top of that, there's a lot of people injured, and there's a big GoFundMe going out there to try to help out the crew members that were injured. I know a dolly grip was hurt really bad. I've been doing it for years too. And I really hope they get better. You never want to see a crash happen. It sucks. Like, stunts are dangerous. They're dangerous. It was an accidental because of a stunt. It was an accident during a stunt. So they didn't expect this to happen, but it did go down. And I know people were being kind of hushed about the other day, but now information has come forward because there is video footage that has landed on the internet, and we will show that in just a little bit. I'm going to just I'll get that up here in a second. I thought I had attached this, but I think I've been kind of all over the place. I'll come back to it in a second, but that is happening, and I hope they get to the bottom of it and this never happens again. But stunts always go wrong, unfortunately, and there's always an issue that happens. Not all the time, but I mean, it seems like it happens too much. They try to be as safe as they can, and we never want to see this happen, but unfortunately, this did go down. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I tell you what, they're definitely not happy about it, I would think, over Amazon. But I think that everybody at SNL is very, very happy about Ryan Gosling being over there because it did really good numbers over on Peacock, his episode of SNL. Everyone's been talking about the Beavis and Butthead part. Everyone talks about that. Him going back to the whole Avatar thing. That was freaking funny as hell to actually see him come back to that role too. But to me, this is great. This is great for an SNL. They've kind of been hurting for a while. But if you look at the numbers right now, I think it was like 8.9 million views over there on Peacock, and that's pretty big compared to the 1.7 million for the actual live event. So people are loving it. People love Ryan Gosling, and I think it's just like his star power is shining through more and more and more. And good for SNL. Honestly, they're freaking loving it over there. I guarantee they love it. The numbers aren't as big as Taylor Swift's album, but Taylor Swift's album is out there. We've talked about it a few times. But now on one of the tracks, we find out who she's actually kind of talking about, dissing, I guess, in a way. But Matty Healy actually came forward. He was asked, like, what do you think about being dissed by Taylor Swift on the new album? And there's a track called Guilty as Sin. And this mentions like a guy that referred to some band. And of course, it's his favorite band. And so everyone's saying it must be him. And he came forward and said, guys, my diss track, I haven't really heard it, haven't listened to it much, but I'm sure it's good. So there's no hard feelings here. If you date Taylor Swift, if you're around Taylor Swift, I think you know that she's probably going to use you for motivation. So, I haven't listened to the track so much. I hear they're good. I have a lot of people that I know that are fans of it. Hopefully, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, it's good. But it's like 31 tracks, and that's a lot of content. It's a lot of freaking content. And it's also like, that's a lot of content, but it's also a lot what Elon Musk does every day, in and out. Elon Musk now is taking X into the app world. That's right, the TV app world. So now you're going to have a video app over on your phones, your TV, everywhere, where you can actually have X connected even more. Now, he's talking about having a new handful of like whole features here, just launched, talking about trending video algorithm, artificial intelligence-powered trending topics, and cross-device compatibility. So if you stop someplace, it'll pick up someplace else. This is a way to start branching X to be more of a video platform and become a bigger and bigger thing. Of course, he has this whole idea to make X into this whole... It's like China has coming like this, where it's like you can bank through it, you can get Uber Eats through it, you can do you can get a rental car, you can do everything through this one app. You do your social media, of course, and that's what he's trying to turn X into. And this is the first step, and it's probably going to be something crazy eventually when they get down to it. I can't imagine to see what that's going to be like. Does Tay-Tay mention any of her girlfriends? That's the thing too. It's very hard. There's a lot of people that are trying to figure out who they are, and there's that whole thing with her and girls too. You never know. There might be some stuff hinted in there. I know, but her and Kelsey are, pretty hot and heavy, though, I would say anyways. But so X's rival over that Facebook, though, might have big issues because the social network, too, is moving forward. And Aaron Sorkin came forward and said, hey, guys, I want to do this. We talked about before this was in the works, but now we know why he's doing it, what the plot is really about. Now, apparently, Aaron Sorkin, he blames the January 6th event on Facebook. He says that's what it was. So he wants to do the social network too about January 6th and Facebook's big impact on there, bringing people together. So it's getting pretty political that way. I like the idea we did for the first movie. I don't know if we did delve into the political aspect, but I'm interested to see what they do. Of course, David Fincher would come back for this, and that's the only reason why he said he wants to do another social network, because he was mad at January 6th. So we'll have to wait and see what this is like. I think, though, let's not be political about it. Let's just show how fucking crazy Zuckerberg was and how he messed up a lot of people's lives. That was good in the first one, and how he's a robot. Let's just deal with that shit. That's kind of fun. But Zuckerberg's, that's fun stuff. That's fun stuff. But Zuckerberg's also very much like Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor, actually, everybody, we've been talking about this for a while, Superman. We always talk about Superman on here, but now there's been news that Leonardo DiCaprio was up for Lex Luthor in the Justice League, in the Batman vs. Superman, which of course Jesse Eisenberg played from The Social Network again. And it's interesting to me because I can see him playing Lex Luthor because I couldn't see Jesse. I was like, Jesse, really? Jesse? But he did a good job, but he wasn't. I think we could have got bigger star power for this. Somebody else that would be more threatening. Maybe Leo could have been more threatening. I don't know. Apparently he had great ideas, but at the end of the day, Zack Snyder and him met, and Zack said he was just kind of mad about it. But he did give him the idea to have Superman fight the whole Justice League, and so he did use that for Batman versus Superman. So good idea. Stealing ideas from Leo DiCaprio, so good for him. But somebody else, another superhero might be swinging to your theater soon is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And Sam Raimi came forward to talk about this some more, guys. We've been talking about this for a while. This might be happening. Who knows? But Sam Raimi said he wants to find the right plot point for it. He didn't say it's happening for sure again, but he keeps commenting about it constantly. Constantly keep hearing about this. Now he came forward to talk about it, and he said, okay, guys, I need to talk to Toby. I need to talk to the writing staff. He's talking about his writing staff already. I think this is moving forward. And he says, I want to make sure that we find like where this fourth movie is going to fit into the movie. What kind of journey will Toby have to go through? What the character will need to be going on? What's that big event that leads us to have to come back to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? And then he's going to choose a villain based off the representation of the obstacle that Tobey Maguire's character is going through at that time. And I think that's interesting too. I mean, of course, that's what you have to think about, like what's happening. It's a long time since Spider-Man 3. So will it be good? I think this is happening. There was rumors he was going to do Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland too, so that's still in the works too. So we'll have to see. Maybe that crossover event. Maybe. I know they still want that street level Spider-Man, or at least Marvel does with Kingpin. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But Sam Raimi also has a new Evil Dead movie coming out. And he's found a new director for this. Of course, he's not directing these movies anymore, but he found director Francis Gillespie, who actually did The Last Stop to Yuma County. And he's going to be writing, directing, and creating a whole new Evil Dead movie. It's his own thing, its own bag of worms. There's another spinoff, too, coming out, too. That's his own thing, too. So there's 2 Evil Dead movies in the works right now by Infested director Sebastian Vanek. I probably just butchered his name. So they got 2 Evil Dead movies coming from Sam Raimi's production company. Will it be good? Will it not be? You need Bruce Campbell, I say. You're not going to have Bruce Campbell? I might check it out, but I don't think it'll be the same. Anyways, a lot of breaking news, everybody. A lot of breaking news.